And we're live, and we're going to need to do a couple of checks. We're going to need an audio check, and we're going to need to know if we're an actually live check, because last time we did this last week, people couldn't join. So we'll just have to keep an eye on that. I'm keeping an eye on my phone just in case I get an emergency call from Pex.
Brian looks like he's
Brian's
here.
in.
I've got the stream up as well, and I can hear...
Okay.
I can hear you. Looks like we're connecting.
Looks like we're good to go.
Yeah.
Then this is Monday Movie and Mapping Madness with Jack, the beloved Cole, over on my left over there. And we are working on Necropolis, the side view. The last time we worked on this, I basically just drew out the dimensions. I'm now gonna... I mean, it doesn't look too bad, but I'm now gonna... clean this up. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my ink, I'm going to give it a little bit of opacity, and we're going to draw everything in for realsies. So that's it. We're off and running. Brian, good to see you. Are you on your nights now, Brian?
Off to the races.
Off to the races. Alright, I'm getting into this. I'm just jumping in with both feet, and I think I'll just start, and we'll see how this. Oh, I don't want to draw on that. That's an actual freaking dope to do that. Let's do this. Oof. Brian, how are you doing?
He does say that he is not yet on the he says I switch over to nights at the end of the month.
I can't imagine working nights now. I used to do it all of the time. Now it breaks my brain a little bit. I understand now why the older guys never wanted to be dealing with it and would actually give me their night shifts. It all makes sense.
Now that you're like, I wouldn't want to freaking do it. If I had to do a night shift, I'd try to trade with one of the other employees. For sure.
I would fall asleep. I think I'm pretty sure I would literally just fall asleep. I wouldn't be able to keep my eyes open.
And then he says, I am working on a map of the Dreamlands. Excuse me.
Oh, get the hell out. What for? Who for? I want some details on that.
And Alex is here. Hello, Alyssa.
Hey, Alex. Good to see you. Good to see you.
Hello.
So Jack and I watched Black Widow over the weekend, last Friday. No spoilers at all.
Mm-hmm.
It's worth watching. It's worth watching, but brain off for the last 20 minutes. It starts really, really, really strongly, I thought. And I was thoroughly enjoying myself for a good portion of it, I will admit.
Yeah, there were some convenient plot armor moments earlier in the film, but it was still very enjoyable. I agree with you. The first 75% of the movie, fantastic. But yeah, that last 25%, that third act is little rough, a little messy.
And if you brain off, I think it's manageable.
Yeah, there's a couple of choices that they made that were I don't agree with, but But yeah, you can turn your brain off for a lot of it, and it's a-okay. It actually did very well at the box office too.
I heard.
And it was one of those ones where Disney actually reported how much it made over the weekend as well.
I saw that. Yeah.
Very rarely does that happen. So it made 80 million domestically, 78 million worldwide, and about 60 million on Disney Plus. So let's round up. It basically made $210 million this weekend. That's crazy town, considering pandemic still. I know people don't want to, think about it anymore, and everybody's frustrated and want to get back into the world. But with other variants going on, we still have, danger out there in the world. So even with all that, $210 million, that's crazy.
I'm actually glad it's doing well, because there was that executive at Disney that one time that said, like, a female lead in a movie isn't going to make money or something. I forget the specifics.
Mm-hmm.
But so I'm glad that that's been proven to be incorrect.
Right. Yeah, and it was I forget who it was. It was the former head of Disney that said it. It was like, or I don't know if it was that former head of Disney or former head of Marvel. I don't remember which one it was. But it was like, that's why they didn't want to do a Scarlet Witch movie, is because they were like, nobody wants to see a female-led action movie. And then Wonder Woman came out and went, "Fuck you," and Wonder Woman doing a twirl in my freaking invisible jet, and Marvel and Disney and everybody went, "Damn it." Yeah, and I'm not gonna, and I don't want to spoil anything, obviously, but remember, Alyssa, that conversation you and I had about a particular character that shows up at the end of the film?
Yes.
Black Widow was actually supposed to release first out of all the things.
So that would have been the big reveal for Black Widow.
That would have been the first encounter, which then would have led into the other things. And so I just thought that was very interesting. That I was like, oh yeah, chronologically, on the original, not chronologically, on the release timeline, Black Widow was supposed to come out before all the Disney Plus shows and before all what they're doing for Phase 4. And it was like, because Black Widow was supposed to basically kick off the whole next thing. It was supposed to be Black Widow, Captain Falcon, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, then WandaVision, then Loki. And so what they mixed them around, so then it was WandaVision, then Falcon, the Winter Soldier, now Black Widow, and now Loki. Or actually, Loki came out before Black Widow. Yeah, actually, they totally screwed up their release order. So Brian clarifies he's not doing all of the Dreamlands, just a small part of it.
Yeah, but what for, Brian? What's the project? Is it a personal project?
Can you say? Are you allowed to talk about the map, but not who you're doing it for? Pseudo NDA? Half NDA? Let's see. He says, I probably could. And then Rodney said, good evening, everyone. Hello.
Hey, Rodney's here. Good to see you. This is what we're working on. You know, Jack and I both have a day job, so we literally bounced from the day job, and both of us worked long today. And we went straight from the day job, met each other in the kitchen, had a quick chin wag, straight to the stream. So both of us are feeling a little bit slow today. So I figured it would be nice and chill just to work on the Necropolis side view. This is actually something that's going to become more and more topical over the next few weeks. I'm going to be talking about Necropolis a lot. I'm going to be on shows talking about Necropolis. I'm going to be with Mark Greenberg a week on Thursday on a Twitch show, I think, talking about Necropolis. So, because they're kickstarting this thing in 2 or 3 weeks' time, so watch out for this. And if they're kickstarting this thing in 2 or 3 weeks' time, I figured I better get my ass in gear and draw the side view. So that's what I'm doing. Hey, Torben! Good to see you, my friend. Dungeon Tomb. Dungeon, I have not shipped your book. I will. I've been vacillating on it because of the cost for me to ship it to you, and vacillating because honestly I'm scared of you getting charged import taxes at your end and me getting blamed. So I've just been kind of sitting with the book and I'm scared to ship it, but I will. It's on me. I will get it. It's sitting right over there. I will sign it and I will get it at the door to you. It's not going anywhere, but I am a lazy bastard.
Let's see, Rodney commenting on us saying, Mondays. And then Brian says, as of right now, I only have the Ben Burns project.
You know, Jack and I have actually been having really good weekends recently. We normally do, you know, but now we're back into in-person gaming. We've been really, really, really enjoying our weekends, you know. But it only means that by the time you actually get to the Monday, I feel like I want a slower start on a Monday. I am not ready for it at all.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you. I agree.
It's like I want to work half a day on a Monday or something. Just ease myself into this. It's like, there's no rush. Let's just take it easy. Let's not getting all hasty here.
Well, and I'm still a big proponent of the 4-day work weeks, you know. There's, you know, quite a few places in the world that have, you know,
they're moving in that direction.
That have adopted that, and they find that people are actually more productive, you know. So. Dungeon Tomb says thanks a lot for the letting him know about the book. And then Rodney says, my son and I have been painting dragon miniatures this evening. Ooh, nice.
Ooh. Rodney, you've got a lot of freaking dragon miniatures, my friend. Rodney, did you get in on the Bones 5 from Reaper? Did you do that one? Because they had some pretty cool dragons on that one. I did not opt in for the dragons, like, at all.
Dungeon Tomb asks, how come you stopped streaming on Twitch? And I hope you haven't answered it too much. And damn nice to see you on Keystone Reforged now and then.
Yeah. I will be back on Keystone either tomorrow or Wednesday. Keystone is going to be at least once a week now. I'm going to switch some things up, and I'll answer the Twitch thing in a moment. But I'm going to switch some things up. Those are some terrible stairs. But I think I'm just going to ignore them. I've got 2 commissions I'm working on that are kind of NDA like. I can't actually show anyone anything about them until they actually publish, which could be next year some point, to be honest with you. So I've got some things I'm working on behind the scenes, and if I can't actually stream me working on them, what am I going to do? Well, I'll do this side view right now. We'll do Keystone a little bit, and we're going to work on fun projects. We're just going to work on other stuff. So that's kind of like, I think, going to be a good opportunity for us to get a lot of Keystone done, if not finish Keystone. I'm also going to start taking on less commissions. There are a few clients that I'm going to still do commissions for, but we're going to do more us stuff, okay? I'm even thinking about drawing the cities of Greyhawk. It's been something that's been suggested to me. So I think we're just going to start doing more fun, super sexy stuff. I like commissions because they force me to work outside my comfort zone, but maybe there's a different way of us being able to do that. I'm doing stuff just for us. Twitch. There was a guy, and it made sense, that basically who's like an expert on social media and everything. He basically said, like, pick a channel and do everything there. Do everything there, so people know where to find you. And I was like, that makes sense. My viewership on YouTube right now is less, and no one's sponsoring me on YouTube, no one's subscribing to me on YouTube, so there's no money in it, but everyone knows where they can find me. So I'm trying this. I'm going to try this for X amount of time to see if it just makes it easier for people to know where I'm at. And that's where the experiment ends. The city of Palanthus? I don't even know what that is.
See, Alex says, looking at Hero Forge and Ben debates futsing.
Futsing? What's futsing?
I don't know, like maybe messing around with the character creator. The miniature creator. And then Rodney says, no, I didn't. I'm assuming he means that that your question about didn't he have a lot of dragons. So no, he didn't. He said, I picked up silver, brass, clockwork, and copper dragons this weekend. Oh, you asked about backing the... That's what you asked, okay. Now, so he picked up silver, brass, clockwork, copper, and white this weekend. And yeah, then he says, recommend City Palanthus. What's that? He's posted a link. Let me check it out. I got a page with nothing. Still got a page with nothing.
Back in the day, Rodney, back in England, so we're going back some decades now, Grenadier Miniatures were running this event, this marketing drive, and each boxed dragon, remember when you got everything in a box? Each boxed dragon you bought had like a little coupon in it, and if you collected all of the coupons, you would like get a free dragon or something like that, like a free big dragon. I forget the actual details. So I, because I've always been a little bit of a miniature whore, went off and bought every single dragon that Grenadier released, everyone, and I sent my coupons off to them, and they wrote back and went, sorry, doesn't apply to anyone outside the United States.
Oh.
And that wasn't in their rules or anything, because this was back in the 80s when I think it was less litigious of a society we're in. But it was, sorry, US only. And I'm like, really? And that was it. That was the end of it. And I've always had a little bit of a sad about that.
Yeah, that's pretty crap. Sinew Grab says, geez, I didn't realize Jack was a translator while you draw. On Mondays, my days that I'm here, I am. Just so she can focus on that, I read out the chat.
He's my little Posca.
Yeah, that is pretty crap about the... That is a real bummer. I feel bad for you.
Yeah, it was pretty shit. It was pretty shit, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, Sinew Grab is Neil. Oh, hello, Neil.
Hello, monsieur.
I wouldn't be able to. That with everybody's screen names, I can't. It's hard to keep track. So nice. Thanks for the clarification, Neil. Fantastic.
Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. Looking forward to getting some in-person gaming on with you again. We've all had our shots.
I guess Rodney was saying he posted pictures of the dragons, and I'm guessing you mean the dragons in the Discord.
Okay, cool. I look forward to checking them out very much so. I always appreciate you sharing.
Cool.
There you go, that looks good. Neil, I was actually telling someone about that bloody huge dirigible that you had at Enfilade a couple of years ago, and I was trying to actually send them a picture of it, and I couldn't find one. And I know I took a picture of it. So if you do have pictures of that dirigible with the skirmish game going on, share it with me if you could. Because that thing was outstanding. Yeah, Tobin, I might have to look into that. But I mean, I guess what's the point? But yes, I could look into that. I could absolutely look into that. As long as I've got the tool to see chat anyway. But it's weird responding to the chat of someone in a different stream, but I won't rule it out. Do you have something against YouTube? People seem to have like things against YouTube. I have noticed that, and I'm not quite sure why. The latency on YouTube is a lot less. Like, it's seconds, not like 7 seconds or 12 seconds. So I've actually been preferring it.
Let's see. Neil's sending some links for the pictures.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you.
And then Alex says, problem with that is YouTube has a streaming exclusivity clause. So if you did stream on multiple services and included YouTube, the YouTube would ban your ass.
She's actually right. I remember that. She's 100% right. Alex, thank you for remembering that. I actually remember reading that. Nope, that's not going to work either.
And then Dungeon Tomb says it's harder to write on other devices than a PC. Let's see. And then Rodney says Real M Smith streams on both YouTube and Twitch.
It is meant to be exclusive though. Alex Vixen is 100% correct. I remember reading the YouTube terms on it.
Yeah, and I know of channels that do the live stream on one, and then they post the videos to the other, like in some weird, like backwards thing. But I think the like the pure live streaming you say is has to be one or the other. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. So Dungeon Tube is clarifying. He's like, so he can see you on his big old like 55-inch TV, but he can't write anything on there. So he has to do all his typing on his phone.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
Brian says Critical Role streams on both. Maybe there's like a deal you can get, like if you get enough followers or something, maybe you can like sign a special agreement with YouTube or something.
You know, I'll have to look into it. I'll have to look into it, make sure that I've got all of the legalese right. If they're not, it would be a bit sad to completely lose the YouTube channel. It would. So I don't want to like just accidentally fuck up, but I'll look into it. See what's what and how come Critical Role can get away with it.
Yeah.
Like, what up with that?
What up with that? Well, while we were talking, we were talking about Black Widow. I was going to my Letterboxd list. Princess Strega would be proud because I'm actually doing something on Letterboxd. But I'm now having to rethink how I've rated all of the MCU movies. Because like I was gonna rate, because on Letterboxd it's like an out of 5-star system. I was gonna give Black Widow 3 out of 5. I was like, let's do in the middle. I mean, I think it's better than a 2.5, but I don't think it's as good as like a 3.5 or 4. So I'm gonna just go 3. That'll be it. But then I was putting it in my ranked list, and I'm like, okay, so where does it go, and like how much I enjoyed the movie, and I'm like, well, I liked it better than like Black Panther, so I'm gonna put it above that. Well, I look and I gave Black Panther a rating of like 3.5, and I'm like, well, shit. And then I started looking at all the other ones after that, and they're like all the other films that I think Black Widow is better than, and all of them are higher rated. So I'm like, son of a, I gotta redo my entire like what I've ranked everything on this freaking thing.
Well, you were talking about giving it like a B+, which surely would be more than like a 3.
No, I'm gonna give it a. Well, I wouldn't give it a B+. No.
An A-?
I would. Oh no, I would give it a B-.
Oh wow, okay.
Either a C.
That is a 3, yeah.
Yeah, either a C+ or a B-. I haven't fully decided. As I'm typing up tomorrow, I'll probably make the final decision. But. I don't know if someone as big as Critical Role.
Hey, Kim George is here.
Hey, Kim, hello.
Hey, Kim. Good to see you. We might see each other in September because a certain Mr. Webb has invited us up to your gaming weekend. We're going to be doing some lurking. And I'm working on Necropolis side view, Kim. I've obviously done all of the top-down maps. There is an insert that shows the side view and how all of the tunnels connect. That's what I'm working on here tonight. Thank you, Sinuala Grabby.
Neil.
Neil.
And Torben does say that he does like that he can go back and watch the video now at any time, because like right now it's 3:04 after midnight. Oof. Oof. Kim asks how you are and that she's looking forward to it. I'm assuming that means to September. Huzzah.
Huzzah indeed. We're doing well. We're doing well. We were actually over at Bill's over the July 4th weekend. Had an absolute blast. And that was my first large person gathering in a year and a half. So it really, it gave, honestly, it changed my entire mood about life. It really did, I swear. I stopped slopping around in t-shirts and stuff. Actually bought myself some clothes. Got myself some sun. back in person gaming with my actual friends here in Portland. What is there not to love? What is there not to love? Are they Egyptian clothes? They're not. You know, I actually noticed over... I don't know about all of you, but I worked from home for like the last 15 months. Went out very, very little. Like, not at all, really. And I just started to slob it. I mean, I would like wear my pajama bottoms during the day and a t-shirt. And I did that for almost 15 months straight. And I wasn't happy doing that. But it was like no reason why not to do that. And I'm kind of like, I'm t-shirted out. It's like, no, get some proper clothes. Look proper. You know, dress up a little bit. Now you got a reason to, because you can actually go outside. Got more sun on one day than I did in the entire 15 months prior. That's probably good for me, but it felt good too. And just being around Bill. I mean, Kim knows what Bill's like. Bill is, he's a good-hearted guy. He's got a huge heart. And he's a geek, he's a nerd, he's a gamer. And just being around that energy, it just invigorated me. It just got things going, you know?
Kim laughs and says, yeah, why not? No point in getting dressed up otherwise.
Exactly right.
Sinew Grab, Neil says that the name is, he rolled a name for a Demon Prince out of the classic GW Slaves to Darkness Chaos book back in the 90s, and then just has kept it. Kept that name.
Okay.
Ooh, here we go. Let's see. Dungeon Tube says, I can't wait to see the new D&D movie, but even more so the new D&D TV series that look like it'll be like an Underdark setting to the surface, like R.A. Salvatore's book. You know, the John Wick direction with them. Yeah, that would be pretty badass. That's if that's the direction they go, I'm 100% with you. That's gonna be awesome.
A D&D series?
I'm actually not familiar with either project, to tell you the truth. I know literally nothing.
Alright, I'm just grabbing reference materials from the old stuff. What I've got is I've got this situation here. That's the lower ground. That is the side view of this here. So this domed area is actually this. We've got steps going up. Then we've got the room here. 34 and 35. I think it's a solid wall. No, there's a door. There's a door right there. I think there's a door right there. I'm pretty sure there's a door right there. I need to check my map. Oh yeah, Bill was talking very highly of your group, Kim. Very, very highly. Alright, so I need my Necropolis floor 2.
Yeah, I actually looked up what Torben was talking about. So there is the film that's coming out, obviously with, I think Chris Pine is going to be in it. But what they've done is they're thinking that they want to do a it's not clear whether the series is going to be a companion piece to it or if it's going to be just its own separate thing. But as he pointed out, and as this article confirmed from Collider from back in January, one of the directors of, because I think John Wick, I might have had 2 directors, but anyways, the director of John Wick is going to be the showrunner for the D&D show. So, John Wick director D&D show, I'm down.
That's interesting. Okay. So we've got a door, we've got an archway, and then we've got a solid wall. We've got a door, we've got an archway, and we've got a solid wall. Okay. I'm gonna redraw this because it is bugging me. Don't like it. don't like it. If we don't like it, we get rid of it. I hope, Dungeons and Dragons is possibly more popular now than it ever has been before, right? And I think in some ways it's more mature in its reach that it has, especially when you consider the streaming services, the YouTube things, the fact that it is a viewed event now. So maybe we can get a movie to match that, because maybe now there's just more people out there that get what it should be, and maybe we'll get the movie that we were all looking for when we were younger, but there just wasn't the people out there that really understood the tone of what that should be.
Totally. Yeah, and Alex, it doesn't say, and at least in what I could see from the few articles that I could find that were talking about it, it doesn't say which D&D universe it's going to be in, but I got to imagine if R.A. Salvatore is involved in the writing, it's got to be Forgotten Realms. I don't think he writes anything else other than Forgotten Realms.
Yeah, Neil. No, I'll take that, Neil. The Lord of the Rings. No, I'll take that.
Yeah, it's a good point. Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah. Ooh, Torben says they're currently filming the D&D movie, and there have been like 20 pictures that have been released online. I'm guessing they're like paparazzi photos. It says that you can, there's clearly a scene in Neverwinter. So.
Oof, I could see that. I could see that.
So yeah, Forgotten Realms. Yeah. Forgotten Realms. Yeah. So Faerun, then Alex. That's cool. Yeah, I do agree with you and Neil that the Lord of the Rings was the D&D movie I wanted, but yeah, I'm also with you in that I hope now with like how we have better quality ways of making, whether it be shows or movies. It's like we technologies come a certain way, and the filmmaking processes come a certain way. Yeah, Dungeon Dude, with the if you put the link in later, yeah, I think we would both love to see the stuff for it.
I have muted and guarded interest. There've been such roadkill in the past, I don't want to get my hopes up too much.
Yeah, I hear you on that.
I mean, they have been epically bad in the past. I've decided to redraw this corridor, by the way, if you wonder what I'm doing. There's actually, if I bring this corridor up and I put this one to one side, this was the original side view. Let me see if I can zoom in on it. So you see this little sort of pyramid area here. I think the height of the pyramid is wrong, but also there's a column in the center, and I've got the column in the wrong place. This actually should be on the other side, which actually creates a little bit of a gap between the column and the wall where supposedly there's a secret door. So if I actually just bring the secret corridor up further to the top, I can avoid that gap right there. So that's what I'm going to shoot for. So I'm just moving things a little bit.
Nice. Yes, Kim, we are indeed going to Game Hall.
We are, yes. Very much looking forward to it.
And Torben says that in some of the leaked photos, you can see Hugh Grant dressed as the villain and a villain and cultist with the tattoos on his head. Ooh. So is he going to be like a Red Wizard of Thay or something? Like, is he going to be like, one of those kind of guys? Or I don't know. Who knows? Yeah, and Alex, I don't know. I know obviously in tabletop rules, acid destroys troll flesh, but I'm wondering in his books, obviously he didn't really care about the actual D&D rules. I thought, did he establish that acid hurt them as well, or I thought it was just fire in the books, anyways. And he didn't pay attention to any rules, actual game rules in his writing. And yes, Kim, I think we are 99% sure we will be there in September. For sure.
Actually, Kim, can you tell us the dates? Because you know Bill. He thinks he's told us the dates, but he hasn't.
Right.
Like, even just PM me or something on Facebook or something. But let me know the dates and we'll get it locked in.
So they do look like fake cultists. Thanks. That's awesome.
Alright, this is shaping up to be something nice. Let's get this one in.
No, I get, Alex, that it was okay. So it was established in novels. Were they his novels, or were they someone else's novels? Just out of curiosity. Because if they were his novels and he completely contradicts himself, then yes, that's really stupid. If they were someone else's books, then I'm assuming they didn't have like a continuity expert as part of the publishing team. It was one of his, then he's a dope. He is an absolute dope. I mean, I know he had to retcon some of his other things that he did, but you'd think something as simple as, one of the ways to completely destroy a troll is with acid. Well, I don't know, maybe the argument was maybe stomach acid isn't strong enough? I don't know. That's weird. Definitely seemed like he was trying to go for the shock factor of the whole, orc fingers and flesh, regrowing in the belly of the wolves that tried to nom on it. It's definitely trying to be very like, that's gross, that's nasty. Also, scary.
What are you guys talking about?
She was saying how she's not the biggest fan of Ari Salvatore just because he makes a lot of mistakes in his books, and so then I was trying to ask for some clarification, and she was talking about there's a bit where in the in one of the there's like they're like running from these trolls in the swamp, and like you as the reader learning about trolls and like how they are like they're susceptible to like fire and like acid, because if you just chop them they'll regrow, and like pieces of trolls will regrow, and like I think there's like a bit where like wolves like tear up a troll or something and like eat pieces of him off, but then those pieces basically start to regrow inside the wolf's belly. And Alex was saying like acid destroys troll flesh. What the hell? You even established, and that's what I was asking. I was like, did he say that in another book? I don't remember if it was in his book.
And that's why she's saying, yep, he did himself. Gotcha.
Yeah, it was in one of his books. He said acid did it, and so now I'm sitting there going like, well, either he's a dope, or his, he's gonna do a silly write-off and go, stomach acid's not strong enough. Okay, now we're. What is the pH level for to disintegrate the flesh of a troll? That's
I don't think I've read any of his things, any of his books. Did I just kill the stream like that by announcing that?
No. Well, and it's definitely one of those, I mean, there are, I think you'd have to be like into that. I mean, I know some people that have tried reading like the Dark Elf books and they just weren't, they weren't hooked by it. Yeah, they weren't hooked by the story. Neil says heresy.
Neil's offended, yeah.
And he agrees that R.A. is he's a dope, a decent writer, but a dope. Yeah. Hey, Jesse Lowe in the chat. Long time no see.
Hey, man, it's been a while since I've seen you.
Hello.
Wow, I'm touched actually that you're here. You and Neil in one night. This is fantastic. You, Neil, and Kim. I'm beginning to feel like people are getting paid off. Here's $5. Just turn up in a stream for frick's sake for 5 minutes. Thank you. It's great to see you.
And Torben, the link did not get pasted in that you tried to put in.
I think YouTube by default blocks links. I might be on crack when I say that. I think it has to be a moderator that does it or something. Jesse, we're gonna have to fix that. We're gonna have to fix that. You know, pre-COVID, I used to try and attend Victor's games as much as possible, and of course we've got that mini convention. I forget what it's called now. That goes on, but I'm gonna try and get and hang out with you guys more and play more games. Bring my toys. I've not wargamed. I want to say since Enfilade 2-3 years ago, whatever it was, the pre-COVID Enfilade. So that's going back. That was the last time I wargamed.
Isn't
Ambuscade?
Ambuscade.
Ambuscade,
yeah.
that's the one. They changed the dates on Ambuscade, so I couldn't make it this year.
Alex hides her little book of blackmail. Mods can post, no one else can. Oh, and Mr. Demilich says, "Hey, Alyssa Faden, you drawing another map? I remember that opening statement with Annemeyer."
I am drawing the side view of Necropolis. I've done the top-down view. In fact, why don't I quickly open up the top-down view? I've got one right here with no labels on it. This is a top-down view. It's 60 inches wide, about 86 inches long. This is the equivalent of my Teagle Manor, with all of the lovely details that you would obviously require for something like that. And this is getting kickstarted in a couple of weeks' time through Frog God Games. And in the book, in the original book, they have this, and it is a side view that tries to explain how all of the corridors and elevations work and how they relate, because there's a lot of secret doors, secret corridors and things like that. So I'm doing the 2021 version of it and doing the ink work mostly tonight, just dialing in the ink work, and I think it's beginning to look pretty good. And I'm beginning to wonder what some of these lines are that I drew. And the old version of this, not that one, this one has this room 10 and 13 beyond here, and I think I know what that is, but I'm trying to decide if I want to draw them or not. I'm trying to figure that out. So that's what we're up to tonight. So it is a new map, but it's a new side view for the end of a project, because I figured that the Frog God Games is going to ask me for this in about 2 weeks' time. This has been fun though. It's like I don't draw dungeons too much. And honestly, the people that have had the most out of me dungeon-wise has been the Frogs. I've probably drawn more dungeons from them than anyone else. I've done a lot of QOD. I forget what QOD stands for now. I keep forgetting. But I did like 13 dungeons for them in that one. But so when I do a dungeon, I try to go a little bit nuts. I try to just add a huge amount of detail and make fun little stories and things in there. So that's what we're doing.
Yeah, because I mean, you're notoriously you're known for your city maps and your overland maps, But yeah, dungeons, not so much.
You will actually be interested to know, by the way, that I'm potentially thinking about drawing maps, city maps, to complement Anna's overland maps, like literally doing them in the Greyhawk setting. I am considering that. I'm giving them away. Alright, so they have drawn, I think they've drawn this area here. Well, why would you draw these rooms and not these rooms further back? I don't know if that makes sense. And then, like, these rooms actually hook behind here.
Mm-hmm.
Which this doesn't. So it's definitely one of those things where I'm like, eh. That's the old version right above my head here. Room 10 and 13? 10 and 13. Oh, that's... Oh, they're trying to draw these two rooms. Right here. Like, but I'm not actually convinced they've got the dimensions correct. But that's what they're doing. They're showing 10 and 13. I think that just clutters things up. I don't think you need to know that. Because 10 is actually closer to you. 13 is actually behind 10. Why would you even bother doing that? They haven't shown 12 on the map, so I don't think it serves purpose. I'm going to leave that off.
Yeah, when you have a map like this that does have, when you're trying to look at it from the side view, multiple rooms and areas that go out from that. It's like, I don't know how you would, why would you try to differentiate that? Why would you try to show that? It would make it look like a really messy clutter of weird little symbols and lines, like in an area. Like you said, it should be the one that's closest to the quote unquote camera, the eye of the viewer. Kim says, yeah, it's tough to decide since you can't see all of it anyway. Right, exactly.
Now, I do have an interest, though, in this one. Like, right there. Oops. Not doing that, though. I do have an interest in the squiggly room. And the squiggly room is what? I think the squiggly room... So the squiggly room is room 16. And this corridor here. This corridor here is actually, so I'm going to see if I can sort of show this. Oops. These stairs coming down are right here. I mean, I feel like I need to get a highlighter going on, but right here in the middle of the screen. And then you got this long corridor that just runs across the map, which is this one right here. It's a long corridor which is behind, but it's behind and below, which kind of throws things off because it looks like it's sitting right underneath the pyramid rooms, but it's not really. It's in the distance. And then that actually turns a corner and is like, then butts up against this room right here. So it's kind of funky looking, but we'll just do something like this. Are you guys still researching the Dungeons & Dragons movie stuff or something?
It looks like Torben was just saying how he had sent you the link in a message to like the pictures and stuff, and it looks like Alex looked up them and was and her theory is that it's the Shadow Fae, not the Thayans. I myself haven't looked at anything yet.
I'm going to open this from Torben. Dungeons & Dragons movie set, accept and close. Thank you very much. Ooh, look at that Dungeon Master chair there, Jack. Sorry, get distracted. That'd be good to have next to the gaming table, one of them.
Ooh. Well, yeah, considering you're the one who's going to be sitting in it most of the time, of course you'd think so. You're like, that looks pretty
They're Wayfair. Okay, yeah. I'm familiar with Wayfair. I didn't know that they actually had all of those choices. Sorry, Torben, I'm a little distracted. We're actually going to get a custom-built gaming table at some point this year, I'm hoping. And getting a nice GM chair at the head of it would be pretty sweet. Alright, well, so distracted. Mayfair, got it, okay. Pictures. Flags hanging up. Someone to tell the mask guy to get it up over his nose. That's not how masks work. I hope that this isn't going to be too cheesy. I hope it's going to be a highly polished, high production value.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so.
Oh, was that it? Was that all of them? Alright. Okay, cool.
Shadar Kai. I will look up images of the Shadar Kai. I do not know who that is. They are I'm guessing they're the Shadow Fae that you're talking about. Oh yeah, the spooky looking guys with the tattoos definitely have more of a look for these guys for sure.
Okay.
Aren't the Urukai? No, they are not. Rodney says, Dragon Slayer is still my favorite D&D movie, even though it wasn't official.
I think I've only seen Dragon Slayer once. Yeah, in fact, I know I've only seen it once.
Me too. I remember enjoying it, but I do only remember seeing it the one time. Mr. Demilich says with the new movie, it can't be worse, or it just won't get released. Yeah, I don't know if you can get any worse than that first one. That one was. It wasn't the greatest.
It was certainly special. It was special. And I actually remember nothing about it other than the fact that I have seen it, and that was enough. I'm good with that, thank you very much.
Yeah, I actually have seen it a couple of times because I knew people back then that were... I had friends that actually dug it. As a matter of fact, I had one friend that it was one of his favorite like fantasy movies up until the direct-to-video sequel came out, which makes the first one look like a brilliant piece of art, and in comparison, because it's so bad, and he legitimately liked the second one more. It was real bad.
Now, did you defend him just shortly after that?
No. I did defriend him a while later for other reasons, but that was like there was somebody that I used to know in my past. Yes. He was a bit of a dope. Oh yeah, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. Krull.
Ah, Krull.
I liked Krull. Krull I've seen a couple of times.
I think I've seen Krull a couple of times. Yeah.
Alex saying, Dragon Slayer's my favorite Disney movie. I don't know. Disney's done a lot of good movies. I don't know. Well, it's your opinion, I suppose. So for you, it is your favorite Disney movie. That's cool. That's cool. Now, were they the sole people on it, or was it like they did it through? It was like another company that did it through them, like a joint thing. I actually don't know.
I think I might do a grey shadowing on the stuff that is further back, just so it looks like this corridor here is back over there. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Make it a little bit more obvious. I think that might look half decent. I think my ink work on this might actually be close to being done.
Nice.
Oh, I should actually do the statue, though. I should do the statue in the middle of... Oh, I'm getting carried away. I'm drawing statues and shit in the rooms. I'm not going to be able to resist. I'm going to do it. I'm going to start adding detail that they don't need.
Yeah, Neil, I was looking that up, too. Yeah, it looks like co-production between Paramount and Disney. Paramount handled the North American distribution, and then Buena Vista International handled the international distribution. But being that Buena Vista is Disney, so Disney helped produce it, and then Buena Vista helped distribute it internationally. Actually surprised Paramount and Disney worked together. Definitely makes me want to look into it. I like reading about the production of movies. You're fighting your urges for the details?
I'm fighting my urges. I'm really fighting the urges because I'll end up just having to draw stuff in every room, and it's just going to start looking ridiculous if I do that. But I do think I'm definitely at a point where I can turn the red off and start getting a real sense for how this thing's shaping up, and I think it's good. I am going to do this in full color. I'm going to add like blue sky, some clouds, nice little sun rays coming through. We're going to have some fun with this, without a doubt. And it's not going to take long. I'm dicking about and hanging out with all of you while I'm doing it. But by the time they do the Kickstarter, this will be ready. And I'm liking it. I'm kind of liking how it's looking. I'm okay with it.
Nice.
We'll go for about another 20 minutes working on this.
I'm actually now thinking of September and that whole shindig we're gonna go to. I am curious as to what and it does look like that Kim messaged you with the dates, yes. I believe. I am curious when that will be. We'll have to obviously talk after the stream. because I was looking. Angelia actually, linked me to those Fathom events movies that they do, like the big special events. Was like, I think actually technically when we saw Stan and Ollie, I think that was one of the Fathom events special, because it's like very limited at certain theaters. Well, I guess in September they're doing the 80th anniversary of Citizen Kane for a Fathom event, and obviously up here in Portland we have a couple of theaters that do the Fathom events. And it's one of those things where it's like on a Sunday where I'm like, all right, well, cool, but I don't know now if that's the weekend that we're gonna be not in town, and so I wouldn't have that as an option. So
you would go to the Fathom event thing, even though you watched Citizen Kane recently?
I haven't seen it recently.
I thought you did. Well, like within the last 2 years.
Mm-mm. No, the last time that was the Third Man, the other one of Orson Welles's.
Okay, so it's the 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th type of weekend.
Okay, that's the same weekend then.
Okay.
They do have it on the Wednesday after too. I might have to consider that, going out in an evening.
There you go.
That might actually be pretty cool.
I should actually delete the grid. I should delete the grid that I don't need. I should do that now. In fact, alright, white paper, let's start there. Let's start adding some finishing touches to this thing. Let's start dialing this in. Alright, white paper. Nice. Already looking better. Let's get... I think we can dump this for now. We're going to get my grid. We're going to add a layer mask to that, because I'm all about layer masks right now. And... we're going to start hiding the stuff that we don't need. Let's start there. I guess the question is, can I possibly... am I going to be able to get away with doing a select on the ink layer? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe. Okay. So do that. Do that. Nice, Gary. Nice. Only took me like 50 million years to actually learn any of this bloody process. Oops. No, you're doing it wrong. You're doing it all wrong.
Mistakes were made. Abort.
Yeah, very, very, very cool. Alright. I don't think we need a grid on the outside. No, because we'll add a little scale bar, and that's all we're going to need on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
There you go, we got a pretty little grid going on. Send this off to the frogs and say, okay, done. And Jack, one thing you could even consider is, if you were inclined, is I'm sure Seattle somewhere is doing it. You could head off and drive, across the ferry and such.
Oh yeah, probably not. It's I'm assuming it would be one of those weekends where we would come back on the Sunday. I don't know if we have that Monday off, because I think it's a little.
Yeah, right.
So it'd be it's the Sunday. It's like at 3. It's a showing on Sunday, a singular showing. So it'd be one of those where I think on the Wednesday it's at 7 p.m. So it's like, okay, that works better. Those Fathom events are very, very finicky. It's like it will be playing 2 days, and each of those days it will have a time. Oh, okay.
But I thought you said that it was going to be on the Wednesday as well.
Right, that's what I was saying. On the Wednesday, it's at 7 p.m.
Gotcha. So it doesn't span between them all. It's just 2 days, literally.
Yeah, literally the Sunday and the Wednesday.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, Neil said that it's overrated, so I don't think you need to worry about it. I think you're okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, Neil. That I especially when I was a patron of the Hollywood theater, there would be many movies I would go see on my own. I don't think Alyssa would enjoy watching Citizen Kane on the big screen. I don't think she'd enjoy watching it on the small screen. I don't think she'd enjoy Citizen Kane at all. It's not really her type of movie.
This is going to sound weird, because I'm going to say I'm not a movie person, but I mean that from the point of view that I really don't give a shit about like the making of movies and the history of movies and all the rest of it. I watch movies for entertainment factor, not to get my learn on, or not to... Like, there's certain movies I watch where I definitely feel like I've just watched artwork or experienced artwork. Don't get me wrong. But I don't watch them to have that feeling. If I get it, great. If I don't care. Because it's something like Guardians of the Galaxy or something, and it's trying to do something else. And, I will, you know, things like Citizen Kane just aren't going to do it for me, and there's a million other things that I should be doing instead, like mapping. I would rather sit here and play a computer game, to be honest with you, and probably have more fun doing it. I mean, I'm not trying to be like a Philistine or anything here, it's just...
No, totally.
That's me in movies.
And, you know, I am A-okay with that personally. But I do understand that obviously people in the chat might not know, and people watching this on the repeat are probably like, what the heck? Kim says that she's in your boat, Alyssa.
I mean, I am all about the fact that Jack really does love movies. He loves the history of movies. He loves the making of, you know, and he can appreciate things like that. Even if he doesn't like the movie, he can appreciate certain things about the quality of the making of the history or the time that it was made and the politics that were going on at the time. Jack is that guy. And I'm totally cool with that, and Jack can take himself off to the movies and watch it. And he comes back and he tells me about his enjoyments, and I live vicariously through that, and and I'm good to go.
Yeah, when I was a patron of the Hollywood, I would you know, come home after going to Kung Fu night, which I dragged her to a couple of times, and each time she just kind of rolled her eyes at the stupidity of the Kung Fu movies, because that's, you know, kind of what they are. And I'd come home and I'd be all excited, and I'd tell her about the stupid plot of a Kung Fu movie, and I would tell her how stupid and cheesy and over the top it was. And then she'd be like, but did you have a good time? And I was like, hell yes, it was so fun. It was such a stupid fun movie. Because it's like, I acknowledge this movie is really cheesy and really bad, but I love it to death. Neil says, cool, we can wind him up, then use his opinions to shut down people later. Nah, but see, I don't like to, I do my best not to be like, let me bore you with all the things I know about this movie, or let me bore you with my opinion. You know, I'll give my opinion. I do occasionally, you know, movie reviews online. But I'm not like an expert. My word is not final. I'm not a professional critic. I have thoughts, and I will present them. Here they go. But I will definitely not try to bore anybody.
And people that are the opposite of that do want to actually impress on everyone in the room their opinion of a movie, Jack will tend to shut up around them because he doesn't want to share thoughts with them.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, I think what I'm saying is Jack will express his opinion once and only once. He'll do it on Facebook, and that's the only time you get to engage with him on a movie.
No, I enjoy talking to people about movies. But yes, if there is someone who's like, my opinion is the best, then I'll be like, that's good for you.
Oops.
Kim, I appreciate that. Thank you. Alex says, I have found a lot of B movies are better watches than some of the big blockbuster movies. Yeah, sometimes it's like that, isn't it? It's like, yeah. Some of the big blockbuster movies, though, they're like a different kind of dumb. They're like I feel dumber for having watched this. Fast and the Furious. It's so painful. It's like, oh God, what am I doing here? And the thing that sucks is those a lot of those movies make so much money, and so they're always gonna make more of them, and it's so bad.
I'm actually really struggling that the Fast and the Furious franchise has done so freaking well.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. But people love them, apparently. And they love them worldwide. It's not just the States. The international box office on those things are always very high.
It says something about the state of the world, I think.
Oh, Torben says, it's almost 4 now, so I better log off and try to get some sleep.
All right, my friend. Thank you for hanging out. Talk to you soon. The stream won't be going too much longer.
Good night. And Kim says, looking great.
It's taking shape. I'm probably going to do a little bit of what this one did, where it actually has a lot of darker shadow around the actual map itself. I'm probably going to copy that. I should probably get some cliff stuff going on here. What's this X? I am not familiar with this X, but apparently I need an X. I'm going to have a little bit of a lip or something here. But yeah, it's definitely taking shape. A lot more detail to do, obviously. I like doing things like, let me see, this type of thing. You know, I'll add little boulders and stuff in the rocks itself. Just adds that little bit of interest and texture to stuff. So we'll probably do that all over. That'll probably help actually make some of the area darker. But what's this X? I wonder what the X is. Let's
Do you have a copy of the old Necropolis it was based on? You can look it up.
I do. I really like this whole painting by masks. I think I've been converted, and I think I'm likely to abuse the crap out of it. Because it's so freaking powerful. Now what's going on with that line? Why do I have a line there? What? Oh, I've got a grid. That's what I've got going on here. My grid is showing. Let's get rid of that. Alright, let's figure out what this X is all about. This looks prettier anyway. Let's figure out what the X is about. Oh, that's going to be my grid. Let's get rid of that too. Let's hit save. Grid and bear it. Alright, so this is the entrance. I've got the draft of Necropolis here in front of me from Mark Greenberg. And I'm going to scroll all the way down. I guess what I might as well sort of show you here. This is the original draft. And I just need to find... I think I have a version of this actually that is just this dungeon. Yes, I do. Alright. Here we go. The outer chambers of the false tomb entrance. When the counters reach the ledge, read the following. The ledge forms a wedge on the cliffside, 8 feet deep. Close enough. 13 feet across, now it's the 10 feet. I don't know what the X is. I literally don't know what the X is. Unless it appears before this, so maybe... Close that. Kim, I know that you're a huge Frog fan. You just got to see a little bit of the early work right here.
I was gonna go spoilers.
Yeah, no, totally right. Kim, spoilers, close your eyes. There you go. Did that jump to it quicker? It did. Okay, so here we go. Oh shit, it just jumped away. What the fuck? Don't jump away. Stop. Okay, there we go. Fishes in the rock, ledges, 255, ravine, 2 king cobras, sunning themselves in a nearby rock. Spoilers, Kim, spoilers, forget you read that. Oh, that's a different area, that's a different entrance to the tomb. Where the floor of 40 feet above the ravine, 40 feet, 10, 20, 30, yeah, I've got the 40 feet up. If a rope is affixed, then it's easier to climb. That's it, and then it just goes straight into it. There is no X. So that's kind of weird. I might have to ask if that's needed or not. Because it's definitely on the old one. And of course there's no key or anything. Maybe there was something in the old writing right there, which I could get, but if it's not in the new one, what's the point? There, Alex Vixen, thank you very much. Not just a moderator, but also preventing the spoilers from leaking out into the world. Very much appreciated, young lady. Let's get rid of the grid on these doors here. Alright, and I think we're close to probably the end of the stream here. I'm going to decide what we're going to do next when we resume on this. I think we're probably going to work more on the rock. Get the texture dialed in, get the colouring dialed in. Get all of these lovely little sort of details. Get maybe some sky in the background on there. I think we're really super close. Maybe one more session with this is going to finish it off. I do want to make sure that these rooms in the background have a little bit of sort of a grey fill on it, which we will work on separately. What about this doorway? There we go. And what is that? What is that offending thing? Okay, so that you're part of this. Let's get rid of you. And you. Okay, we go. For a half-page thing that's going to be about this big in print, I think that'll do the trick. We'll need to add a border to this and a scale as well. And I'm thinking a fairly simple border, but maybe with some Egyptian corner pieces on there.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that'll look pretty good. Kim's going to go look at her old one. Kim, PM me if you find out what the X is. I will be curious about whether it's actually needed or not. Ultimately, it has created a much more interesting shape to it, so I'm probably going to keep exactly what we've got here. But yeah, let me know what you find out. Needs more tentacles. Yeah, right.
Tentacles.
Right.
Yes, indeed.
Alright, so this is where we're going to end it tonight. Thank you so much for hanging out. I really do appreciate it. It's hanging out with friends. It's hanging out with friends. I'm going to be back tomorrow and probably... I'm going to work on either the cosmology of role-playing map tomorrow, because we've got hundreds of games to add to that, or Keystone Reforged. And whatever one I do tomorrow, I'll do the other one on Wednesday. This one, probably next Monday, we will resume on this, and maybe next Monday we'll finish on it. We'll be good to go. So, thank you everyone for hanging out. Jack, thanks for hanging out with us as well.
Of course, of course.
Everyone have a great rest of your evening. I truly love you. Thank you so much. And I'm going to see you all on the flip side. Good night, everyone.